let's kind of get into this here. We're going to make dock deck boards, and basically this is going to be kind of a refresher on the video that I have out on how to make these. Because maybe I just didn't quite exactly explain a little bit better on how to control it. I just kind of made it and just kind of put it out there and kind of assuming that everybody could play with it enough and figure out their own way. So, Thornbriar, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. But we're going to play with this here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change to a light color so you can see this. But I'm going to bring this up and get it off to the side because I don't want to use up too much of my space in the process. So I'm going to put that there. And but this particular cube that I have, I'm going to shrink that one down into a microvoxel. If my tools will actually start working the way they're intended. So there we go. 1, 2, and I think I'm going to just leave it there. So we have a microvoxel now. And next I'm going to take a standard voxel again, and I'm going to take that microvoxel and create a megavoxel out of it. And to do that, I'm going to paste it on each one of the 8 corners all the way around this voxel. And basically it's going to be out one and over one from the side. So let's take this, make sure I'm in position for it. That's right on the inside. I'm going to come out, up, and over, click. And then I'm going to come into each one of those corners and paste it down. And just because of the magnetism between the voxels, it's going to pull that other voxel outwards into the space of the other voxel. And one that's basically just creating a megavoxel from the microvoxels. So we stretched that voxel out so it's really big. Okay. Now that I have this here, this is kind of like the beginning point. But we've also got other stuff that's kind of going on with this. You've also got the space that is on the outsides, which is this side, top, the bottom, this one, and this one over here, right? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get a putty voxel. If you don't know what a putty voxel is, it's okay. Okay? It is healed earth that has been painted. That is it. And we copy it to the clipboard so we can use it. But I'm going to take this putty voxel and drop it in right on the side. And it didn't come out quite clean, so let me grab a different putty voxel. Sometimes it does good, sometimes it don't. A lot of times it's based on the material. But it comes out to something like that, but we can fix that. We can take that microvoxel and let's paste that back in on the corners, and we'll just correct it that way just to make it a little bit quicker. Let's drop it back down, and you can see that side is now really thin like this. Now if I take a copy of this whole entire thing and I make another duplicate of it like so, and I grab that microvoxel and I smooth it down some more, I make it smaller. Let's see, just one smooth should do it for what I need to do so you can be able to see it. Let me back out of here, and I'm going to replace each of these corners with this smaller microvoxel. And hopefully I can get this to where you guys can kind of see what I am doing. But I'm going to replace each one of those corners with this new microvoxel. Now you can see the thickness of this one is the size of that new microvoxel, just like this one here. This one's a little wider. This one right here is a little thinner. And I'm going to copy out each one of these side pieces. I'm going to paste them out here, and I'm going to put like 3 or 4 of them in a row, skipping every other. And let me grab this one here and do the same thing. See if I can get this thing kind of in line with the other stuff. Like so. Now, you'll notice that this thicker one, it is thicker, but it is not quite as big looking at it straight on. This is kind of key when it comes down to your dock deck boards, because the smaller that microvoxel is, the smaller the gap is going to be between your dock deck boards. Okay? Now, if I take this setup right here that I have kind of set up here, and I take my line tool and I click just on the sides of these, you can see I can flatten that out all the way across so that it's now vertically taller. I can do it on this side and do the same thing, just to make these boards the actual thickness of a standard voxel. I can take my selection tool and I can grab that, and then when you look at it, it's literally the width of a standard voxel. This will come into play as we kind of go along. Okay, right now if I take these and I copy it and I paste it, and I'm going to rotate this over to the side, and I just paste these in a row. Like so. And I'm going to bring this out just a little bit so I can put them side by side, and so that you can actually see this gap between the two, between these little boards that I'm making. There's that one. You can see the actual size of the gap on that one. I'm going to do that same thing with this one that I did with this one here. And I like doing this, several times, and pretty much as long as it comes out clean, it's usable. But if you have a lot of little deformations or artifacting of the board, then you kind of want to stay away from it. But we're going to do this on both sides, and then we're going to hit it, like I said, 4, 5, 6 times, whatever it takes to clean this thing up to where it comes out looking clean. I'm going to grab this one. Now, remember that that one's thicker, this one's thinner, and it's all based on the microvoxel. But if I come over here and I'm going to lay this one down right next to this one, just like we did before, and you can, if just by overlaying it, you can see the size difference. It's slight, but it is there. Where this particular one is just a little bit wider, but the actual board is thinner. So it's kind of a give and take on this thing. But let me put these in a row so you can kind of see what I'm kind of referring to here. But the microvoxel has a lot to do with that, you know, how you started it has a lot to do with how it actually turns out in the end. Like so. So there we go. We have, you know, a smaller gap and a thinner board, and then over here we have a thicker board with a smaller gap. But you can take that one and this one and work it together to where you have boards that are that thick and with the thinness of the gap as this one over here. You can do that, but it's going to take a little bit of playing to get it right. Yes, you can fill those up with putty, and if I go and grab another putty over here, and I come over here, I can do a Control V to paste it in, and I can drop it. For some reason my putty is not working worth a darn today. I'm going to clean up some new voxels. For some reason it's just not happening. And let's fill up a new hole, and let's paint this one metal, just so you can be able to see it over here a little bit better. Let's drop this in with putty. So there you go. You can see it retain that shape in between the two of them. I mean, putty still works. It's just for some reason that my stuff over there is just acting all funky. I'm going to just have to redo it. It's all good. But you can fill the gaps in between it if you wanted to fill it in or something like that. So let me back out of that. But that is the start of your decks, or something like that if you want to call it that. Now, you have this shape that has been formed now, okay? And the big question is, well, how do I take this and make the boards for underneath of it? Well, one thing that you can do is literally take one of these boards now. I'm going to copy this one. Or actually, let's take one inside of it. I'm going to copy that one. I'm going to paste it out so you can kind of see this one here, like that. Now, if I take a standard voxel and drag this sucker up like this, right? And I hit check. I can take this right here, copy it, paste it, and I'm going to bring this right on top of it. Just like that. So now I've got this shape here. Now I can manipulate this shape to where I can literally take this and paste it underneath these boards here so that it doesn't affect it quite as bad. Okay, I can take this shape and I can make it thinner, I can make it a little bit thicker, all based on playing around with this other piece that I have here. If I take something like, let's just take that shape that I have here, right? As you already can tell, it's a little bit bigger than a standard voxel. So if I take this and I copy it and I paste it, and let me bring this over here and let's rotate it and drag it down and paste. Move it over to the other side and paste. I have now changed that shape of that voxel to where it sits up just a little bit higher. It's not in the standard voxel space, but it will connect to my boards a little bit cleaner than what I normally would have had before. So I'm going to hit my V And let's bring it over here and let's drop it right in. And let's take it over to the next one, and I'm going to paste it there. Move it over to the other side, paste it there, and to the next one and paste it there. So now they are like super clean, right? Now I have all these gaps. Well, that's kind of where the putty comes in. If I come over here and get a copy of that putty, well, let's go with a different color this time. Let's go with white, and let's paint a white box so that I can grab a hold of it. Control copy. I'm going to come over here and actually fill in that gap in between those two that I modified. Drop it in and paste. And then I can just go in there and paint it as I need it so it looks all one particular shape. And let's do the same thing on this side. And let's paint that one. So just by playing around with the sizes and the shapes that we currently have, or the one particular voxel or the megavoxel that you have created, you can actually use the other pieces of that one panel to create other pieces that will fit together for your dock deck board. And Tekin, thanks for the follow and welcome to the stream. But it's all about playing it and how to rotate and play with the little pieces that you have literally have created. I mean, everything that was created right here was all based on that one megavoxel and that one microvoxel that you created. I don't even have to play with the mega. All I need is that side piece. And so you can literally probably skip making the mega. You can literally just pop down a voxel like so, and let me come back over here and I can grab that micro, come over here and just paste it, instead of on the corners, paste it on the sides like this. Paste one there, paste one there, there, and there. So there's your panel. That's another way. I like doing the mega because I know that I can manipulate that however I want. I mean, I can make it flat. I can stretch it out and play with the different sizes of it. Everything that's around it, you know, you can play with it as well. So, good night, Shundry. And so, just by making these little pieces like this, there's things that you can do to modify other pieces. So, yeah, so after you've got this actually created, I can come in here and literally just change this into wood or to whatever texturing design that I want. And for here, let's do plain wood, and like this, turn it into plain wood, and do this. Oops, excuse me. Gotta get a hold of it there. Like that. And voila. Now you have a dock deck board that has a bottom piece that is connected and it looks clean. So that's pretty much the update version of dock deck boards. And it's been a while since I released the first video on it, and it was a kind of a rush job at the time. It was one of the earlier videos, so now you have an updated version. So hopefully that right there has helped somebody, and if you use it, let me know. I'd love to come and take a look. Make the benches into pigeonholes. I don't know, man. I don't know. If I rotate it, what will happen? It'll probably distort the crap out of it because it is microvoxels and it's not thick, so it's probably going to come out looking like poop. But if I copy it, paste, let's bring it up and let's rotate it. Like I said, it's probably not going to come out looking pretty. I got the feeling it's not. So let's put it at an angle. Like I said, when you're playing with microvoxels and you're trying to rotate stuff like this, the engine does not like playing with microvoxels very well. Let's go to vertical. Even vertical isn't exactly vertical. Let's try that. Vertical looks okay. Still a little meh, but still not too bad. You can do that, like I said, but you're going to have to, those pieces that you put in between them. I'll give you an example, like this right here and this one right here, correct? Now if I take these two boards and I copy it and then I paste it in right next to this. Oops, excuse me, I should have grabbed them all, right? If I take this one in and I paste, and let's take this one here, copy, paste, I'm going to do something like this, and then let's delete the one on the end here. You know, do like little staggery looking stuff. Let's chop that one out. How's that? Alright, so this is that first one that we created earlier, which is this one here. So let's pop down a standard voxel, like so. Say what? So let's go ahead and start manipulating this voxel so that we can actually put down boards for the bottom. Do something like that, and let's go with, of course, one on the top. So now I have a board that I can connect down there. Yeah, get over there. Let's get this lined up with the other ones that we created earlier. There's one there and one there. Pop that in. Now you can also take these boards that are here, put it into a reactor, and then get the voxels off the bottom so you can literally smooth this bottom board to where it's all the same all the way down, and that would probably help this process as well. So kind of keep that in mind. But we have that kind of put together, so let's grab us a putty voxel, and we're going to fill the gaps in between these bottom board sections. Get up there. Something like that. I totally missed it, right? I'm going to fill those gaps in like that, and let's go ahead and paint that up. give it a little bit rougher look at least. Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with a reactor, I'll kind of show you one right quick, and we'll actually put it into effect on actually playing with these reactors a bit. I'm not sure what they did with this add tool and putting the voxels the way they have now, having to switch back and forth. That is so freaking annoying. I'm sorry, but I don't know who came up with that idea to change the way we had it before, but I'm having to swap back and forth on this stupid thing to get my tool in, and I'm really not pleased with that. It's annoying as crap. So basically it's a 3x3 with everything but the corners and the center kind of removed. Okay, so we'll put this in here so it's like this. Okay, now if I take, I'm gonna make another one of these first. Copy, paste, drop this down, drag it off to the side, so I have two copies of it. If I take this first piece that I have here, or better yet, I'll take that one, which was the original, and I'm going to drop this into the first one. And basically we're replacing the one that's right there in the center with this, and you can see how the little voxels around it has reacted to me pasting it in there, right? Now I'm going to take this other one, which is this one that we created earlier. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into this one. And this is the one that we connected to the bottom of the second one, which is, or excuse me, this was the first one, that was the second one. So this one right here is the one that's on this end. This one here is the one that's on this end. Now what I want to do is convert this one, which is the bottom of that one there, to form up to the bottom of this one, so that literally I can put them straight together and there will be basically a straight line, where right now I have this little drop off. It's very slight, and I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen there, but it is there. It has this slight little drop off, so I want to modify this here. So this is the new one, which drops down lower than the one that's over here. But I'm going to modify this particular voxel so that the bottom is exactly the way this one is. So if I take this and I copy these bottom voxels that have changed to that shape, and I copy it and I paste it into where the bottom of this one is, you can see the shape of that just changed. And let me rotate back and forth. Excuse me. You can see that change in it right there. I'm just going kind of back and forth on screen here so you can see that modified slight little change. Okay. Now if I take this piece now, leave the way it is, don't mess with the top, and I just take that piece and I come over here and I replace that one that we have right here underneath that one board. Okay, let me get it into position and I paste that in. You see, now I don't have that little jump down right here. It's over here now, but let's go ahead and replace that one as well. So now I have a straight line between those two boards. And you can actually, the only little bevel we have is this one right here, and that's because we have that jump between a thin board and a thick board. And this is just playing with that little modification to clean up some of the lines between like one voxel and another voxel. So and that's using the reactor to make that change.